the person who is not here. Good. So now everybody write this down. A trending market is a market a trending market is a market that is characterized by a move up, a move up, a move up, and is characterized by a movement up or a move up. In that move up, in front of that move up, put in brackets uptrend, comma, or and a move down. A move down. In front of that move down, put in brackets downtrend. Full stop. Are we together?
Yes, ma'am.
Yes.
Okay, so let's go further. This is what I mean. Now everybody pay attention to the screen before we continue with the notes. I know everybody wants a market that looks like this. You want to be sure that this thing is moving up, like the arrow is facing up, so that you can say, oh, this is an uptrend. Or you want something that looks like this, so you can say, oh, this one is facing down, right? And say, oh, this one is a downtrend. Remember when we're selling, we want the market to face down, but market does not work this way. The market moves in waves. So instead of going straight up, it goes like something that looks like a zigzag. How do I mean? Now pay attention. It looks something like this. I don't mind joining. At the end of the day, you notice that you've actually moved from this same point where this moved from this ground up. I told you you wanted to move up, but it's not going to go in a straight line. It keeps going zigzag, right? At the end of the day, you are still at the top. Yes or yes? Who agrees with me? Eventually, we still got to this top. The same top we're going to go. That is how the market moves. So everybody write this. A trending market moves in waves. A trending market with moving waves. A trending market moves in waves or a pattern. Moves in waves or a pattern. A pattern of higher highs, comma, and higher lows. Higher low. Full stop. Are we together?
Yes, ma'am.
Good. So now, based on my screen, what do I mean by higher highs? What I mean is that the market keep going higher. You know, when you say higher highs, you can see on the screen I wrote HH. The HH is just like an abbreviation for higher high, and then the higher low is this HL, right? Now, this market moved from this point. I can say this is point A. Let me even write that. Point A, right? I moved all the way to this point B. Let me say this is point B. Now, when you got to this point B, it's just like you running. Remember when you run, what happens after some time? You take a rest, is it not?
Yes.
You don't just continue running forever. Good. Now, that time you're resting, you're going to be doing in a trending market, the market will start doing the opposites. So because you're on an uptrend, for instance, the example you have in your screen is the movement as if the market is moving up, meaning we're on an uptrend. Now, what do we say we do when the market is on an uptrend? Who can remember? When we started our business, there was another word I told you to write down for uptrend. Who can remember? If the market is moving up, are we buying or selling? Let me make it simplified.
Buying.
Good, we are buying. So what it means is that on an uptrend, the major thing you want to be doing is that you want to be buying. It's like knowing that everybody is going from the ground floor to the 5th floor. So what it means is that every stage you get to, you're going to be crossing the 1st floor to get to the 2nd floor, to cross 3rd, 4th, 5th. You know, it will not make sense if only you trying to go up, you are now facing down when every other person is facing up. I hope you know. So the same thing in the market, especially when you're on an uptrend. Anytime the market gets to each zone, it's going to take a rest. And that rest, the market is going to be doing the opposite. So what is the opposite of buy?
Sell.
Sell. Good. So now look at when the market moved from this point A to point B, the moment it got to that roof, instead of buying, it started selling. So that sell move is what we call pullback, or we call it retracement. So write this down in your notes. Very important. Anytime I say notes, it's very important. So write this down. Notes. Every trend has 2 moves. Every trend has 2 moves. Every trend has 2 moves. Full stop. Every trend has 2 moves. Every trend has 2 moves, comma. The first move is known as the major move or the impulsive move. The major move or the impulsive move. Major move or the impulsive move. Full stop. Are we together?
Yes, ma'am.
So can I proceed?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, good. While the second is known as the pullback or retracement move. Pullback or retrace. When you say you retrace your step, what does it mean? You're changing from a bad way, meaning you're changing your direction. So if you've been a bad boy before and they say retrace your steps, you want to start being a good boy. That is what it means. So when we say retracement move, it's like saying we are doing the opposite of what we were doing before. So that's why we call it a retracement move or pullback, meaning you were going forward. They say pull back. It's just like changing direction. That's where that is right from. Pull back. That's another word used for retracement. But most times, for me to make my student understand, I use the word rest, resting move, so that you can easily relate to you were running and then you started resting. So those are the other two. Remember, I said there are 2 moves: the impulsive move or the major move. You know, when you do something on impulse, what happens? It's like saying that thing is natural to you, is it not? When somebody credits your alert, now let's say, Mr. Grayman, Madam Kemi, I decide I'm very happy and I decide like, please give me your account number. Let me credit you with 1 million naira each. What would you do? What would be the first thing that you would do? I'm asking both of you. What would be the first thing?
I'll jump off.
You jump off.
I'll send the account.
Eh?
I'll send the account details first before asking you what happened.
Okay, you send the account details. That's good. Now, I love both response, but the both response showed that you wouldn't have to plan. You would take that action on impulse, right? She would jump up. Nobody would tell her jump up. That's because it's a natural response. So in every trend, the first natural response or the major move is like what happens naturally on that trend. I don't know if you understand what I'm trying to say. So if we say we are an uptrend, because we are looking to move up naturally, the buy then in that uptrend will be the real move, the major move. While the resting move or the pullback, remember I said the resting move is always the opposite of the major move. So if the major move of an uptrend, for instance, is the buy, then the pullback will be what? A sell. Are we together, ladies and gentlemen? Is it making sense?
Yes, ma'am.
So
Yes, ma'am.
good. The same thing for a downtrend. When you say, oh, a downtrend also has two moves. Remember, every trend, whether it's up or down, it both has two moves. So let me ask you now to be sure we understand. What do you think will be the major move of a downtrend? What will be the major move of a downtrend? The buy or the sell?
Just the sell.
Mr. Agri, what about you? Do you agree?
Yes, totally.
Good. Because in a downtrend, we want the prices to keep going down, and sellers are the ones pushing out. So the major move of a downtrend definitely will be the sell. Now, when the market moves in a trend, like I said, it doesn't move straight. It gets to every zone. At this point, pay attention, ladies and gentlemen. Look at the screen. This buy move, remember buy is the one going up, would now be the major move. The movement from this point A to point B must have been the major move, meaning because it pushed up. When it got to a zone, you can see every time market gets to a zone, it's always respecting the zone. And I'm agreeing for it to sell. Where do we sell, ladies and gentlemen? Where do we sell in the market?
Resistance.
Good. So what
From
it
point
means
B.
a point B. But your chat, you want to point B. So, but that point B, good, is the
Yes.
resistance. Why? Because they sell occurred and we only sell our resistance. So definitely that zone it got to after it bought for some period must have been a resistance point. Right? Now, one rule you don't want to do, notes. Write this down your notes. Notes. Remember, once you notice it, but that notes. In a trending market, you only want to trade the major move. You only want to trade the major or the impulsive move. Are we together?
Yes, ma'am.
Good. So
Yes.
you don't want to trade the retracement or pullback. You better write it, please. Don't trade the pullback. And I'll explain why before we now go on our charts. You only want to trade the major move. You don't trade the pullbacks. Now, let me explain using this. Are we together? Can I proceed?
Yes, ma'am.
Now, everybody, imagine that you're looking at a 5-story building in front of you where you are presently. Imagine yourself being on the ground. You want to start climbing that 5-story building. Definitely, meaning the moment you put your leg on the staircase, right, you begin to move up. But have you ever noticed that sometimes as you're climbing the staircase, there's always a point, like, it's like a short rest, probably like a place when you get to the first floor, there is no staircase connecting immediately. There's like a short point. I don't know if you've ever noticed that when you climb the staircase, that's like a brief
Yes,
resting period. Now,
Yes.
you that you are going to the 5th floor, will it make sense for you to now stop on that small briefcase or that junction along the staircase where it's just like a landing footstep for you before you move to the next? Will you want to stop there, knowing fully well that you're still going to the 5th floor? No, right? Good. Now, each time people trade pullbacks in the market, for me, it's like getting to this point B. which is your resistance zone. And then it's just for a short time, and then you begin to stay there and think that is where the money is. No, the money is not there, right? Because at some point, that your first floor, you're still going to break above it. I don't know if I ever told you that support can become resistance before. Did I tell you that in our last class?
Yes.
Good. So what it means is, if I'm going to the fifth floor, definitely I have to break across the roof of the first floor. Physically, I'm not breaking through the roof, but then there must be a staircase connecting me. So the moment I'm on the second floor, the floor of the second floor will now be the previous roof of those on the first floor. Then again, I cross again to the third floor, right? What will now be my floor would be the previous floor of those on the previous roof of those on the second floor. So that is how a trend moves, like so every zone you get to, you rest a little bit and then continue. So that rest is like the market selling. So even though you might be looking at an uptrend on your charts, ladies and gentlemen, you're going to be seeing both buy candles and sell candles. But one thing you're going to notice is, if you're on an impulsive move, let's say the market is on an uptrend, the buying candles are going to be bigger. The move are going to be bigger. Like here, the move from this point A to this point B was longer than this move from point B to point C here, because the pullback move is always shorter. Remember, it's a period of rest, so it's not going to be long. But imagine from point C to point D on this screen is another impulsive buy move, is it not? So it's definitely going to be bigger than when the market is doing a pullback. That's how you know trending markets. So now let me go on the chart and show you a bit of a trending market chart, how it looks before we now tell us how to trade a trending market. Are we together, ladies and gentlemen? Are you getting value?
Yes, yes, yes.
Okay. I'm not gonna have me ranger. Let me know when I start sharing my screen. Can you see my screen?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, cool. Cool with it. So good, everybody look at this screen. Do you think this market is moving up or is facing down? Which one? Now,
Down.
before I say this, hold on. The thing about a trending market is, by looking at it, if it's trending, I'm able to tell whether it's facing up or it's facing down. The moment you are not sure, you might not really be looking at the trending market. So look at the overall direction of this Euro USD. Do you think this market is heading up or down?
Down, ma.
Heading down.
It's heading down, right? Good. Sorry, I'm going to start the time now. Now, that's one thing about a trending market. You can easily tell. Now, I also want you to note what I said also, that the market is characterized by two moves. Now, if you notice my screen, you would see that there were points where, come in, let me return to the chart. There's a point where, because it's a downtrend, you see the sell moves are very long. Then it gets to a zone. What happens again? It buys up, it does the pullback. Then again, it continues down, pull back small, continues down, pull back, continues down. So each time he embarked on a sell move, that's the impulsive move. I still want to draw out something. I want you to be able to look at it and tell me if it was similar to the kind of charts we do. I'm coming, everyone. I'm gonna ask you a question. Pay attention. So all these places I'm using this line right now to highlight. Do you think those were the pullback move or the major move? Which one?
The
The
pullback.
pullback,
Good. Why do you say it's a pullback?
because
Because
it's not the major move. It's a resting.
It's not the
move.
major move. I know now. You very say it's a pullback. Why? There must be something that you see that lets you know that that's not the major move. So what is it?
because it retraced back to the it retraced back a bit before continuing downward.
Okay.
And
You
it's
people are
shorter than the
speaking.
main move.
It's a short good. But most importantly, it was buying. That's why I'll say it's a pullback. You know why? In a downtrend, the major move is a sell. Right? Do we agree that the major move is a sell in the downtrend? So if you start buying, that buy move is a pullback. And that's why each of the areas I marked, it was like it was going up. So it's not about the grammar now, but the point is when you see it, can you identify? Remember, on that line, you also have red candles, is it not? Like all those places I marked out that were for buys. You can see at least some point there were 1 or 2 red candles. But if you look at overall, those points, let's take this for example, this one, it moved, the buy moved up from here, up to from this low point and moved all the way up here, even if there were red candles inside, right? That's like saying it bought up. That's how you know the pullback move. There was another scenario in the past too. Went all the way from here and went up this way, bought up to this point. That's a pullback. So it's the buy that makes it a pullback because you're on the downtrend. Do we understand? So that's the language I want to hear. Because when you join a trend, you need to know at every point in time whether what is the market doing right now? Where is the market? Is it doing a pullback move or is on the major move? If not, you won't know where to join. Let me ask you right now. This is the last part of this market. Let me leave all this upper part. Can you see the last places, the last candles on this chart? Who can see the last candles, the last 4 candles on this chart at the bottom? Do you think this market is doing a pullback or is doing a major move with the last candles you're seeing?
A pullback.
Madam Kemi?
I think a major move.
You think the major move? Good. So everybody's going to tell me why. Let's start with Madam Kemi. Why do you think it's a major move?
Because it's buying.
So we're on a downtrend. It's a buy, the major move of a downtrend.
No. The buy is a pullback.
So, and you are seeing buy candles. Now, what do you think this market is doing right now? Right now, major or pullback move?
Pullback now.
Good. That's how you tell. So remember, you don't want to trade the pullback. I hope we still remember. Our goal is not to trade the pullback, is it not? So
yes,
your own goal is to now join. The next question I expect is, okay, how do I join the trend? So write this down. Another thing you want to note. When analyzing a trend, not all those points I'm saying note. When analyzing a trend or when looking out for a trend, never analyze a trend on any time frame lesser than 4 hours. Never analyze a trend on any time frame lesser than 4 hours. Lesser than 4 hours. Full stop. Are we together?
Yes, ma'am.
How many things have I asked us to note today? How many things have you noted down that I said no?
13.
3.
13.
You are not both saying the same thing. Madam
It's
Kemi, how many have you noted?
You said the same thing. 13.
You said 3. Oh, okay. Now,
Yes,
what's
ma'am.
the number one thing I said you should know?
every trend has two moves. The first move is known as the major move or the impulsive
Back.
move, while
Good.
the second
So
is known as pullback.
good. Everybody knows that one now. So what it means is before you jump in and start buying, you must know, are we on the major move or is it doing pullback? If it's doing pullback, you don't jump in, right?
Yes, ma'am.
You want to wait for the impulsive move. So now everybody look at this, my screen. Look at, I'm going to number it again. And you're going to tell me where you want to join the buys. Let me remove this so we can see the ABC as well. Now remember when we are buying, we want to buy low, yes or yes?
Yes, ma'am.
Yes, sir.
So on this trend that went up, which point was the lowest place we could have bought at first? Was it point D, point B, point A, point C, point E? Which was the first place we could have bought?
Point C.
Point C, the
Yes.
lowest. Let me know, everybody. Great man said C. What about Madam Kemi?
Point A.
Thank you. Point A. Good man. Now readjust yours. Check out this screen. Do you think point C should have been the first point or point A?
It's point A. Sorry, I didn't see the.
Good, I know. So point A was the first point. And remember, where do we buy from on our charts?
Support.
Where? Support, good. So that very first point where it moved from was a support zone. Are we together? Now, after that point A, where else would you have bought on this, my chart on the screen? Point B, C, D, E.
C.
C, good. I love this.
Mhm.
People are sharp, because the truth is, the next impulsive move started from this point C and moved all the way up, is it not? So where would have been the next buy area?
Point E.
Point E. I like that. Now I want you to pay attention to something. There's somewhere I'm going for asking you all of this point. Now notice something. Don't mind my trend line, even if I do not draw it very well. Good. Now, what am I trying to bring out? When we trade, this same point C on your screen, where we have the lower trend line, and the same point E, you can see we have two trend lines. Who knows what they call trend lines? Do we know what they call trend lines? That horizontal line, I said horizontal, that parallel line is what we call trend line. And the good thing about the trend line is you don't have to force it, don't worry. Within now and next week, you'll be good with trend lines. But how do you buy first? How do you trade a trending market? The first thing for an uptrend, let's write down how to trade an uptrend before we now go to downtrend. How to trade an uptrend. How to trade an uptrend. In fact, let's leave that out to trade. So next class, I want us to perfect identifying trends. Everybody, let's go to our MetaTrader.
Okay, ma'am.
Somebody should pick any currency pair. And whoever wants to share their screen, let me know. Remember, the more you share and participate, the easier for you to learn it and it sticks.
Ethereum USD.
Euro USD. Why Euro USD? You want to do it?
Ethereum USD. No, I said Ethereum USD.
Ethereum. No. We are not going to crypto. Let's stay here first. You have not finished normal currency. You want to jump to crypto. Look for a currency pair, and I'll tell you why later.
XAUUSD.
Hmm?
XAUUSD.
SAUUSD. What's that? I've made you calls. Go and share your screen. I think I'm not hearing you clearly, ma. Go and share your screen. Mhm. Okay, so make it horizontal. XAU. Oh, good. This is gold. You're saying XAU USD. In science, AU in science, just like you have H2O for water. AU in science means gold. So it's when we add that X in front that makes it forex. That X stands for forex. So that's like gold in forex. Gold USD. Good. Okay. Now zoom when you want to see the trend. Remember I said when you are checking out for a trend, don't do anything less than 4 hours. So what it means is you can't go and tell me you saw a trend on each one. I'll just look at it with bad eyes from my phone. So now when you want to see the chart clearly, your candles cannot be this big. Did you notice how mine was when we're looking? Still zoom out a bit, zoom or zoom in. Good. What are you seeing now? You are beginning to see things. I mean, where you are right now, you see there was a point it went up, it came down, up, you be good. Now the best bet, remember I said the minimum you want to do is 84. So if you want to see better, start from the top. You can start from like daily or weekly. I check from weekly. Sometimes I even go all the way to the monthly. But at least if you want to be a day trader, you want to check weekly, daily before you trade. So change to daily. Let's see. Maybe daily will make the work easier. Good. What's this daily looking like? Like the last part. Let's remove this line on your screen. Go. I don't like this line breakers, man. Go to where you have your empty for, not here. So maybe Gray Man, pay attention. I think you wanted to set yours too.
Yes. Mine
Go
is
to where you have settings. No man, just scroll down, wait. Settings, good. Now scroll. Show in hold on, man. It should be period separators. Uncheck that box where you have period separators. Good. So go back now. You can go back to your chat. I think Gray Man, you need to do something like that.
Yes, ma'am.
So is it clear now?
Yes,
Your own
Yes,
chat.
ma'am.
Good. Now how back. Let's go back to seeing this chart. Everybody pay attention because I'm going to show you how to draw a trend line. It's part of market structure. So the last part, right, from that top, do you think you're seeing an uptrend or a downtrend?
downtrend, ma'am.
Great man, do you agree with that?
Yes, ma'am. Please give me a minute. So, Emma Binuejo.
Okay, I'll continue. You meet us here. So when you see a downtrend, the first thing, if in case you're not sure whether that trend is still valid or not, you now want to mark out all the zones in the charts. How do you mark out the zones? You are going to go and pick horizontal lines, like I taught us from last week, and put it whereby. So remember, I said a support is any zone the market has gotten to at least twice in the past. Meaning, if your own buyers are represented by blue candles, any zone you see that the market went up from or it started selling from, just look, put the line there and look to the left. You can, if I can see more than once, twice, that's a zone. Then you mark it out before we connect the trend line. So maybe I should share first. Let me explain what I mean. Madam Kemi, then you now will come back to this your XAUSD. right? You're gonna be the one to mark it. So let me try show you what I made first with my Euro USD. Thank you very much, Ma, for sharing. I hope Mr. Greenman is back before he gets lost.
Yeah, I'm back.
Good. So this is the first thing you want to do when you're looking at the chart. Remember, I have not given us the condition for trading first. When you look and you are not clear, but you can tell that this thing, it looks as if it's been going down. The first thing you will do, ladies and gentlemen, is to look for the support zones or the resistance zones there and first mark out. If you remember when I opened this chart, you see that there were some clear areas that were marked. So this is what I do. Remember I told you resistance to any zone the market has sold before, but when you look at your chart, there are some areas that are very clear that it looks like, oh, blue candles just went up from and it started that move. Oh, red candle opened from and it started that move. So I can start from the top this way, even if it's this one. Now, where I put this line, hold on, remember it's a zone. I hope we are saying, remember it's a zone, so you don't want to put just one candle, one line, sorry. I want to put two lines. Then I'll now look to the left. Now, everybody look at my screen. The first place I marked out, do you think there was a zone there before? Remember, there was a point, blue candles went up from there, so I can say it's a support area. Yes or yes?
Yes, ma'am.
Yes, ma'am.
Good. But later at some point, what happened? When it broke to the downside, a red candle still came from the same zone. This is what I mean. Let me point an arrow. So anytime you mark out a zone, go and see whether that zone was a previous support or a resistance. This candle is what I'm talking about. Come in. You can see the sell was inside this zone where my arrow is pointing at. But looking to the left, I want to confirm if this place is still a zone. Yes, because at some point, buyers went up once, another buy move, two. I go again in the past, three. So I've been able to establish, that's how you know zones. Remember, support zones at least twice, resistance at least twice. So this is a reversal zone like this. That's one. I go again and I look for another zone. I'm seeing another one. Where another buy started from or sell started from, remember. Good. Who agrees where I just mapped out is another zone? Do you agree with me?
Yes, ma'am.
Who agrees though? And why did I mark out? Because one, buyers went up from here, and then here again, it became a resistance. So I marked it out because twice I saw the market reacted around that one. Then I go again. Where is the next one? I come here again. Who agrees there is a zone here too? Do you agree?
Yeah.
Yes, ma'am.
Now everybody pay attention. There's something I want to draw out. Remember, we're on a downtrend, but notice how support, remember support is where we buy from, right? This was the first support here, but it became resistance. The same area was where we sold from. This same support here was the same zone the market sold from here again. Was the same zone the market sold from. This next support where we bought from here, was what happened again. The same place the market sold from. The same place the market sold from. What can you deduce from that? Anybody?
That is a downtrend.
I know we're in a downtrend, but there's something I'm pointing out. Why is it that this same buy zone is where we are selling now? Why is it that this same buy is where we are selling? Why is that this same buy became a sell area? It's simple. It's the assumption that when you are coming from the 5th floor of a building, let's say this is the 5th floor. In this scenario, this first part was the 5th floor. So this was the floor of the 5th floor. But hope you know that that floor to the people on the 5th floor is also the roof to those people underneath it on the 3rd floor. I hope you know that. Yes, good. So that roof, remember in Forex, roof is where you sell from. So that same floor, the moment you climb down from the 5th floor and come to the 4th floor, that place becomes a new roof to those on the 4th floor. The same thing happened again. When you moved to the floor of the first floor, it's also a roof to those underneath that on the third floor. So how do we now connect this with a train line? It's simple. Just mark out all those zones that you saw that a support later became a resistance, a support later became a resistance. Try to connect a line. Remember the cells. Notice how the cells started from each of them, because we're on a downtrend, so we want to draw a line that passes through the cells. So this is one selling point, another selling point, another selling point, right? I've seen like 3. I will now drag a trend line that touches the head of all the cells, connecting it through that zone I mark out. So first you do horizontal lines, then I tap my screen, that same symbol where you pick things, I click. This time, instead of selecting horizontal line, I go and pick trend line. Once I pick the trend line, I'll bring it any junction where I see the cell, and I try to drag it. Where did it disappear? Let me pick it again. I try to drag it right to the first point of the cell, second one, at least once I have 2 touches. You can see how I dragged mine. That was simply how I connected the trend line. Anytime your trend line is looking like this, bending anyhow, it's not a trend line. Don't force it. Just connect at least 2 points where the cells happen. That's for the downtrend I just drew. If you understand how I did what I did now, please affirm with a yes before I proceed.
Yes, ma'am.
We understand. Don't worry, you're all going to practice. Do you understand what I did? First, I put an horizontal lines anywhere I saw buys and sells before. Then I went, clicked on this, picked the plus icon and picked the trend line. And I tried to connect it back to all those sell points because we're on a downtrend. Do you understand what I did so far? Yes or no?
Yes, ma'am.
Good. Now, what I've simply done is the upper trend line. I also want to do the lower part. So the lower part is simple too, where all those buys went from, because the pullback, remember every trend has 2 moves, is it not? The major, so I've done for the sell moves, which is a major move. I also want to connect a line where all the pullbacks, the buys started from. So this is 1, this is 2, this is 3. I want to see if the trend line can pass through at least 2 points. If it passes more than 2, oh, better, that's a very strong trend. But at least 2 must be touching the trend line before you call it a trend line. So I go again and I drag to that point. Of course, if there is a wick there, you can't take away a wick from a candle. So it's better it's a wick that is touching the trend line. Are we together? Can you see how parallel it is? It is not bending. When you start drawing something that looks like this, what's a what? It's not straight. You know that something is wrong with your trend line. But look at this. It touched the wicks of all the buys. Once I place it, I key the line. Remember I told you, anytime you're seeing a black dot, your line is not keyed. So tap it. Can we see how to draw the trend line?
Yes, ma'am.
Good. So who wants to go first and draw a trend line first?
Just a question.
Okay, please go on.
Does it matter if it is the wick that we connect or the body when making drawing the trend line?
Once the candle has a wick, it's always better it's a wick touching. That wick has meaning. When we get to candlesticks, I'll tell us.
Okay, ma'am.
And then when you mark out a zone, you know this one is trend line. When you're marking out a zone, because a zone, remember when we drew a range, some will enter very well, some will remain small. That's why we use 2 lines. The first line is to touch the highest wick in that zone. The second one might be the lowest body. Do you understand? So if you have a candle for wick and body, you can put one on the wick, put the other one on the body. Did I answer your question? Good.
Yes.
So who wants to go first in marking out this chart like this? No, I mean, try. Don't worry. You get perfect. Who?
Okay.
Locate yourself before I call you. Oh, no.
Should I try?
Yeah, sure. Well, I mean, try. Everybody is going to try, actually. So let me make you co-host.
Okay, ma'am.
It's simple. Just follow the rules. Mark out the horizontal part first. Once you have more than one, then you can go. Now, I made you co-host.
Okay.
No, don't use zero USD. I just use zero USD. Which kind of a jury is that? That use not yet. Go and check NZD or any other one. Yeah. Even you used to have period separators. Okay. So your time frame, first of all, is what you want to check. You're on a
Yes.
15 minutes. I said start from daily at least. Whatever you're used to now is what you used to get used to when we trade. Let's go on the daily, sir. Good. What do you see?
A downtrend.
You could tell at a glance that it's a downtrend. Zoom a little bit. Zoom in. Remember, I told you want to zoom. You too, you want to remove these period separators, Jerry. Do you like all those breaking lines on your screen? I
No, I
like my
don't.
chat clean. Do you know how to remove it? Please do it quickly.
Okay.
Good. So you've seen that it's a downtrend from what you said. Next then.
Yes, ma'am.
Madam, can you pay attention to what it's doing? Oh, it saw it's a
Yes,
downtrend.
ma'am.
Next thing, it's going to be marking out the zones. Oh yeah, your horizontal line is hanging. Put it somewhere now.
Uh,
Keep going, keep going. Put it first and kid. You can now scroll to the left and see whether it's a zone.
Yes, it is.
Good, good. So key that line there. Go and pick another one and put it to make it two. So that in case you did not adjust well before, you can adjust later.
Okay, ma'am.
Madam Kemi, be getting ready.
Yes, ma'am.
Good. Key that second line. Let's hurry up. Let's hurry up.
I didn't key that line.
Hey, don't worry, you can always come back. Okay, great. Next, plus horizontal. Why are you only going for buys? Are you not seeing some other ones, the cells? If you're even going on a downtrend, you should be looking for the cells more. Where red candles started from, but it's still going to be the same zone later in the past. So why
Yeah,
did you
I'm
jump
just
to the last one?
thinking the current candle is actually reacting towards that side, as in the current forming candle. Like it did
Okay,
not break downward like towards the down part than the previous one, previous look.
I'm with
I
you.
don't
Mark out the zones, sir.
I don't know why my trend lines are so tiny. Yours are thick.
Don't worry. We'll adjust later when we get there. Relax. Enjoy what you have. Even me, I'm going to reduce my own.
Don't I need to check from the side? Like,
Even in this case, you mark, are you not seeing other zones? It's because you're focusing on where the buy is starting from. You are in a downtrend, so if you even be looking for where red candles open, are you not seeing some other zones? Wait, don't go to the left. I'm talking of this box where you marked out. Inside is your box. Are you not seeing where red candles suddenly started selling from?
Yeah. I'm trying to go towards that side.
Don't go to the side, Coco. Maintain here and put the line first.
This, right?
Leave the one you marked down. Now, maybe there was 2 lines. Leave that one. That one is the last part. No, look at your screen at the O. Are you not seeing where sell move started in the middle of these 2 zones you marked? There are other zones you've not marked that the market says selling down from after that very first stop.
Okay. Yes. I get it.
That's how you mark out zones. Okay, there is one there, but that one is not even a strong zone. Still position. This one that you marked, why did you mark it? Is it because of that red candle, that last red candle before the last one? Or because it was a support in the past? Which one?
Because I marked it because market reacted there after this first touch. There was a second reaction there.
What do you mean by reaction? Do you mean buy reactions that went up from that line or sell?
Yes, ma'am. By reaction.
Okay, good. So, okay, good. Mark it out. Then look for another zone again, still where you are. I'm particular about something. Now you are getting to where we are saying mark out. You see other last one, those ones that in my mind. The obvious one. This one you don't put was very obvious. So I was wondering why you did not put it since. This one where you put the line.
Okay.
Since you're 0.65, can't you see it's a resistance one? More than once. You had cells.
Yes, ma'am.
Cell moves coming from it. Good. That's how you know it's on. So mark it out with the second. Good. Now, in fact, if you can zoom your screen, I would love it.
Okay.
No. As in shrink it, I mean, not zoom. Did you see that my own that time? This is what I mean. Now, are you seeing another zone at the top? After you shrink it, don't go too far. There was a zone above the one you marked first. Are you not seeing another one at the top where the cell move started from?
Yes.
Put an horizontal line.
Oh.
Now we are getting where we're going. Two, bro. Two, hurry up. Good. What happens that week at the very top? Why are candles and wicks coming out of your horizontal line? One horizontal line should be touching the very top wick, and you move the other line a little bit above the candles. You should be sitting on those wicks. There's plenty wicks at that area. Madam Kemi, hope you're paying attention to everything I'm correcting him on. Tap your screen so that this dot will go away. If it does not go away, you can't do anything.
I didn't hear you. I didn't hear the last.
Sorry, a call was trying to disrupt. Oh yeah, that one, that upper one is fine. Shift the other one, so that lower one, you can still shift. There's room for you to still shift it up a bit. That first one is fine, good. It's more like it. Good. Now, try and connect. Hold on, zoom out of your screen. Make it a bit wide, not necessarily wide, but try and connect. Good. Try and connect an horizontal line through all the cells because we are in a downtrend, remember. So pass it through all the cells of those areas you marked. Let's see if it's going to hit Remember, you need at least 2 touch points. So go back to the symbol and click trend line. Just drag in here. You don't have to be right the first time. Good, good. Don't force it. Just maintain beauty like that. Maintain beauty, good. Place it on the wicks very well. You did not key your line.
It's straight. Oh God.
Tap your trend line to key it. Good, you're good. Now tap your screen. Go pick another one. Now you want to go through the buys. From that, it's so basket. Have you been drawing trend lines before?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, no wonder. No, this one you've not finished. 1 point is not enough for a trend line. You must have 2 points touching it. Now look at it. Look at what you've drawn. Do you think there's something wrong? Which one do you think has something wrong? The upper one or the lower one?
The lower
Good. So
one.
adjust that lower one back. It's like as if it's suddenly white at the top. I know you want the bike candle to sit on it. So if that bike candle is not sitting well, there's another bike candle before it, or another one. Try and drag it to be parallel to where it's coming from. That dot is on your screen. Until you tap it and
the line is so tiny.
Leave the tiny line. This dot that is on your screen, line breaker. If you don't remove it, you might not be able to adjust whatever it is you want to adjust.
Okay, so you mean the tiny ones? I should remove them.
No, that there's a dotted line across your screen. That like a page breaker. If it does not go, you will not be able to adjust your whatever it is you want to adjust. So tap your screen once. Good. That one has gone. Now adjust this your lower train line, sir. Let it be a bit parallel. The more you bring it down, it's getting white. So what it tells you, you should be bringing it up, not down. Drag it up, not down. No. Push it up. You're pushing it like you're making it bigger. Up. It's almost good. Now the lower part, that upper part is okay where it is right now. Where you need to adjust is the middle side. But you adjust that middle side from the lowest part of the train line.
Come again, sorry.
You see where you place that? I'm still talking about this lower trend line we are trying to adjust.
Yes.
The first place you place it at the top is okay. A blue candle with a wick is sitting on it. Now come to the middle of your trend line, this lower trend line we are still looking at. You can see the trend line. The candles are outside the trend line at the middle.
Yes.
Now drag it, that middle part, you want to adjust it so that the candles are sitting on the trend line. So you're going to adjust from the bottom of this, your trend line. That's where you're going to be able to adjust so that middle candles will be sitting on the trend line.
Okay.
Wait, there's no wala. Let me tell you what you need to do. Listen. See,
it's trying to exit my screen. That's what.
You want to exit. Why now? If you want to do it, you don't have to exit your
like if I try to okay, I've gotten it.
Yeah, good. You've gotten it good. So now drag the remaining trend line now at the bottom, the last part of this trend line. Drag it so that the length will be equal to the one of the uptrend. You drag from the tip of the last place. Do you understand?
No, I didn't get.
Okay, this is what I mean. You can see that your trend line, you have 2 trend lines on your screen. One is longer than the upper trend line is longer than the lower trend line. Yes. So I want you to drag your lower trend line so that it will also be as long as that one. Now, where are you going to drag? Listen to where you're going to drag. Where does your trend line end? Under that point where you have that dot, that black dot, that's where you're going to drag. That's it. Okay. So drag it from down to make it long also. But you've tried, Sha. The more you do it, you're gonna get better.
Amen. Why is this still there?
Drag it longer, make it long. Keep and good. Keep dragging. Don't worry, don't be scared. Drag, it's not gonna bite you. Keep dragging, drag. You can do it. Oh, yeah. You can see. It's just your hand. Just keep moving it. Okay, you've tried. You've tried. Okay.
Is
Let's
it
stop
okay?
here. Yeah, it's okay so that you will not lose momentum. So key that trend line now. Key there. Key, tap it so that dot good. Now, what did you notice about your trend line? You know, there was a time the markets went outside of your trend line. Buy
Yes.
candles went outside, good. Gave the impression as if you wanted to go and buy. Then it started
Yes.
going down, good. So that one is a topic for another day. But this trend line is still valid. Most likely will still head down later. But I don't want to teach that now. When we start getting to how to spot possible reversal, we'll come back to this. So thank you very much, Mr. Agreement.
Thank
Madam,
you,
um, Madam Foluke, Madam Kemi, please it's your turn.
Yes, ma'am.
Please,
All
we
right,
have
ma'am.
7 more minutes to the end of this class. Let's practice with yours.
I should stop sharing, right?
Yes, please. So yes, ma, you wanted to go on gold. Let's start from daily. You are going to the past too much. You know, we want to trade what we are saying now, so you can't go that far. You are going up to 2020. You can always see the dates at the bottom of the page. Good. So what are you saying? Uptrend or downtrend?
Downtrend, ma.
Okay, good. So ma, let's mark out. Oh yeah, maybe you zoom out a bit so you can see. If you're marking a downtrend, zoom out a bit so that we can focus on the points where the market is moving down. Yeah, Mark, now, Ma, you waiting for my validation. I believe you already understand small. So just be putting your line whether I talk or not.
Sure.
Okay, good. I'm loving the 2 zones. Please hurry up the next. You are seeing where. Girl, man, notice the area she's marking out. You can see she's not even stressing me at all. Maybe she'll be the class captain for this set. But don't worry, we will know now when we get to trend line. Clap for yourself, man. See me getting proud of her already. Nice, mom. Great. Hey. Mama be doing wonders. You go fear trader. Who is your coach again? Don't worry, just bend it, just bend that top part so that it will touch the wick of those candles, the top, the part of the upper part of it. Bend it down. That upper part, bring it on the wick of that highest point. That's what it does. Yes, good. We are fine like this. You can just we have 3 points already. Good. Let's go to the lower part. So what you want to concentrate on are where the buy started from. There was the last buy you did not mark out the zone. Remember, the buys are the pullbacks. So so bring it out. What's it what? You know what's it what? Just bring it down. The candles will not be outside of your trend. Down below the bands, not outside. No, it's the trend line. For you to adjust, is a trend line. Drag the trend line.
It's not moving.
It's at the top of the trend line. Yeah, it's moving. Bring it down. Bring it below the candles. Bring it down. Keep moving it down. Good. Until the wicks are great. I think we are good. Can you see now? It's a little bit parallel. I know though that top, you've not, but we can still make do with this. Key your trend line. You did not even give me stress. Oh my God. Please send me this screenshot. Ma, still pay attention. Hold on, you send it to me later. Please go back to your screen. Okay. I want to say something on that. Mr. Grayman, pay attention. Everybody pay attention at this point. We established that we're on a downtrend, right?
Okay.
Now, notice on the upper trend line is where the cells started from. Who can see that? At least you can see that on this move, 3 cells started from the trend line. That's the upper trend line of this downtrend, is it not?
Yes, ma'am.
Yes, ma'am.
Grayman, are you still here? Good. Now, the lower part is where the pullback move started from. Remember that the pullback of a downtrend is always the buy moves. So you can see at least 2 buy moves that started from the lower trend line, is it not? So
yes.
One of the places you sell, we'll start that one from our next class. One of the places you sell on a downtrend is the upper trend line of the downtrend. And the pullback move starts from the lower trend line of the downtrend. So in a downtrend, you call it lower low and lower high. So that trend line is the higher part. So that's the lower high. So we'll say we'll sell from the lower highs right? And the pullback start from the lower lows. That's the lower trend line. Do you understand that?
Yes, ma'am.
Good. So from our next class, we'll continue from there. Now, this is the assignment, ladies and gentlemen. You're going to pick 7 currency pairs.
Wow.
And you're going to mark what kind of liar? We are in 3 serious work, because the truth is, the more you practice this, the more you begin to see the market clearly. The more you're going to get better. Okay, don't worry. Don't let me be mean on you. Let me still limit it to like 4 currency pairs. Did I try?
Okay.
4,
Yes,
right?
ma'am.
Good. So you're going to go mark out those 4 currency pairs and send it to me. You could be seeing an uptrend, it could be a downtrend. Now, note, remember I said always start from the daily. But let's say it's not very clear on daily. You can now
Yes,
go on H4. Maybe your chart
Okay.
is difficult, but the truth is, it's really going to be clear on daily if you zoom. Now, before you come and send it to me, look at what is on this screen now. If you have to screen, grab this screen munch it, so that
I've done it.
see how the trend captured plenty moves because she shrink the candles. Glancing at this trend, I could see a broader view of the market, so that you will not just go and capture one small thing. You know, some people will capture like a pullback move, one pullback move inside this trend, like where that last buy went up from. They'll just draw trend line for me and they'll say they've captured a whole trend. You know, it's different. So your trend, when you're selling it, I should see like 2 or 3 major moves inside, and I should see like 2 pullback moves. Like if I count, everybody, let me ask you this question. Remember, the major move of this downtrend is the sell. How many sell moves that was obvious, like a real sell moves where it went down, really sold, can you see inside this trend line? Like how many? Take a look at it. From the very top of that trend, it did one first sell move, right? Another time,
Yes.
it came back to the trend line, did like another second one. Like how many can you count?
3.
4.
Okay, good. The person who saw 4 saw well. 1, 2, 3 on the trend line, but there was one in the middle that went down. Grandma, you did
Yes.
not count that one. Good. So there's like 4 sell moves. So your trends, you should capture things like this, not just a pullback move. I hope you understand the assignment.
Yes.
Any
Ma'am.
questions on what we learned today?
No, for now.
No, ma'am.
Good. So my assignment is mark out 4 charts. That's 1. 2, go over the notes. Pay attention to the key things I said is important in a trend. I'm going to ask you a lot of questions in the next class. And what you remember from this class will help you excel in the next class, ladies and gentlemen. So thank you. The assignment is going to be on, you're going to mark out, we've tried NZD USD and Euro USD, right? GBP USD, write it down. The assignment is going to be on GBP USD, USD CHF. Some of them might not be downtrend, I hope you know. The way
Yes,
the
ma'am.
same way you mark down is the same way you mark up. So GBP USD, I said USD CHF, check out AED JPY, and then Euro GBP. I'm sorry, Euro JPY. Let me give you that form.
Thank
So
you,
I've
ma'am.
already said Euro JPY. So thank you, ladies and gentlemen. We'll meet in the next class. Have an
Thank you
amazing.
very much.
You're welcome.
Thank you, ma'am.
Ma, is there any video you could send, we could watch before the meal?
Watch in advance.
I'll try. When I see your assignment, when I see how fast you do your assignment, I'll consider
Okay.
it tomorrow.
All right,
Okay.
ma'am.
All right. Bye, everyone.
Okay, ma. Good night, ma.
Good night.